I think the biggest thing for me with Call of Duty at the beginning that got me really into it was I feel like just how much like my friends played it and how much of a talking point it was with like anyone that was playing video games. And honestly, I feel like it was just one of those games that everybody was playing, so I just had to join in.
For me, what drew me to Call of Duty was like the fast-paced action. It was super satisfying playing like every kill you got, trying to get better.
I feel like Call of Duty kind of chose me. I got a little lucky just playing pubs and just found out game battles and just went from there. Like once I realized I was really good, then I just was like, all right, I'm gonna do it, and I put my mind to it and accomplish that.
I actually met one of my longtime friends in pubs. First we were doing competitive sniping, and then competitive sniping ended up leading me into just wanting to play competitive with all real guns is what we would call it. And so one of my longtime friends actually introduced me and he got me into it. And ever since then, I've just been locked in.
My friend, he knew about that world and I didn't really know about it. I would just like play pubs and he'd just tell me like, yo, like you're pretty good. Like you should play these matches with me. It came to a point where he didn't want to play with me just because like he saw how good I was and he was like, yo, you should actually try pursuing this career.
I think one of the big things that Call of Duty has over other esports is that we played 3 different game modes.
Most of the other FPS shooters are just search and destroy. For COD, we have some unique game modes that no other teams or no other games play.
I feel like Call of Duty has the respawn aspect where a lot of it, you see in like Valorant or CS, it's all just really S&D. And I feel like the speed of respawn and just how fun it is what sells me for it.
I feel like when it comes down to respawn for COD, I feel like there's no other esport that kind of has that, game mode. So definitely has a lot of strategy into it, especially when it comes down to breaking hills against, top players.
COD, when it comes to strategies, there's definitely a lot of variety. It looks the same when you're watching, but as a team or as a competitor, it's definitely different. You can feel it in a game.
Most other games, you just use the same gun. Like people can run the same roles and snipe. In this, you use 2 guns basically, and you have separate different roles.
Don't know how to explain it. There's a lot of up-close gunfights with SMGs that are entertaining to watch, but at the same time, there's also some really far-range AR battles going on there, which I think is quite good for a viewer to watch as well. And on top of that, there's obviously different respawns. It's not just like, slow Counter-Strike gameplay. It's a bit quicker with hardpoint and stuff like that, so a lot of different gunfights and a lot more than other FPSs.
Halo, you have to team shoot everything, wait for your teammates. You can't make as spectacular plays, whereas Call of Duty, you could just go rogue and do something by yourself and it'll work more times than it won't if you do it confidently.
The biggest thing for COD might be that we get a new game every year, so nothing ever gets stale.
Even though some games are different, year to year, I feel like a lot of the fun part is just getting best at the new movement or the new pace and just being on top of it.
Game's always changing, there's always new ways to figure out and to play. If you look back in the good old days when COD first came about, it's a lot different.
We have new maps, new guns, new mechanics.
We used to have jetpacks.
I think what makes Call of Duty so unique is the fan bases are really diverse and very interactive. I think in a lot of other esports, you just see that everyone follows the main guy, but in Call of Duty, everybody really loves to express their own opinions, which is great.
People love their teams, and I think when fans show out at events, I think it's lovely. I think it helps the teams out, and just having people shout your name or shout your team's name in-game can also be a buff.
I think COD has a lot of personality in the game. I feel like a lot of the people watch for the players, and people always watch for skill no matter what. But I feel like in other games, you find it where a lot of the people are they're strictly for skill and strictly for the talent of the game. Whereas in COD, I feel like people are here for the players.
The Call of Duty pros as well, they're more interactive with the COD community too, even in streams. Whenever COD pros are streaming, they're very interactive with their community and the COD community. And they're just always bonding with the people who are in the chats and stuff.
In the COD community, the personalities are definitely the most unique thing. I think all players have a unique story. Some people let it show, some people talk trash, some people are quiet and they're just silent killers on the game. I think that's definitely what keeps people around, man. Even like my teammate Clayster, he's one of the crazy personalities. Scrappy's a new kid, he likes to just talk a lot. So I think people are just attracted to the personalities.
What I love most about playing Call of Duty professionally is probably just having the chance to play on stage and in front of fans. I feel like just being able to live this life is just something I never thought I'd be able to do, and even have one person that you don't even know that knows you and that supports you is just something that's crazy to me.
Traveling to these new cities, getting to play in front of different fans is something that motivates me every day because I kind of bring both my 2 worlds together.
My favorite thing as a CEDO pro is traveling the world and doing what I love.
Just having a living based on my passion is just a blessing, and I'm really grateful.
this is the reward. This event is the payoff. No matter what happens, just getting to play at these tournaments is a dream come true.
The adrenaline you get whenever you're on stage and when you're having matches, and from the reactions of the crowds when you're playing and goal. Even if you're like one shot, like if you hear the crowd scream after the second kill, you're like, oh, I'm getting this third, 100%.
It's something that I dreamed of doing as a little kid, but at the same time, just experiencing new things every year, new teams, new places. The whole thing itself is just unreal to be a COD League player.